Good morning, traders. Who's ready to get back after it? I'm ready to take a nice swing into this market. You guys see it. It's coming down. Will it keep coming down? Find out right here on Live Trading.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
What's going on, traders? Let's get to the action. Let's go ahead. I got the boys with me here, all in the house. We got Ryan Faloona in the house. We got Zunaid in the house, of course. We're going to get to some stock market action. We'll see what happens today. But I got a special surprise for you guys, so start it up with a nice little like if you guys want to go ahead and get a little bit of a recap. You know, one thing I noticed is that we talk all about the stocks, but a lot of times we can't cover all the main headlines here. Of course, we have pre-market prep before this, but I thought there would be no better way than getting on my man, Nick Brown, to kind of bring you guys a little bit of a review of what are the top headlines of the day. So we're going to start a new little thing here. We're going to call it here Nick's Top 5 must-knows before the market open. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on Nick Brown here. Of course, he's an intern here at Benzinga. You guys might have seen him on Twitter. You guys see his Twitter handle there. He covers really great news really fast. My man doesn't sleep. He's wicked with like that. How we doing, Nick?
I'm good. Thanks. It's always a pleasure to join you and the boys.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to have you on.
Pleasure to have you. Yeah.
Definitely. And like I always say, the door's open to you, Nick, just like it is to anybody out there. You guys want to be a part of the Benzinga family, want to work hard? Hey, just reach out to us. We always have the door open. Let's get to some of these news items. We'll let you run with it, Nick. What are you seeing out there?
It was a good morning with a lot of hikes. Norway Central Bank raised its key deposit rate by 50 basis points. The SNB hiked by 25. B of E, Bank of England, actually went 50. They were pricing in 25. In remarks, Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey said inflation is still too high. They got to deal with it. They don't want it could be worse later, so they'd rather just get it out of the way. Longtime Tesla bull Adam Jonas actually downgraded Tesla, but ups his price target to $250 per share. In a note, Jonas says, quote, "We're not trying to call the end to the Tesla rally, and from our discussions, continue to find a significant degree of investor skepticism, lack of exposure around the name." Shares, I think, were lower pre-market session, but we'll see how that turns around because this follows a day Barclays downgraded to equal weight, but also up their price target. So it's like a $10 difference. I think Barclays is at $260 a share. Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, he in a recent tweet said he'd be willing to engage in a combat and a cage match with CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He suggested that this serves as the Vegas Octagon serves as a cage match. Zuckerberg had responded to Musk's Instagram post with the phrase, "Send me location," after the Tesla CEO had indicated he was interested in a cage match. According to rumors, CNBC is reporting Meta is developing a standalone text-based social network software that could rival Twitter. So, Q1, Q2 is almost finished. The first half of 2023 is almost finished. And with that being said, JP Morgan published a market update late last night, early this morning. Their key takeaways were basically they see an onset of a recession likely in 4Q23, 1Q24. They expect ongoing earnings growth shortfall for consumer-sensitive companies under a higher for longer scenario. They revised their 2023 EPS from 205 to 215, still well below the consensus of 221, but still expect negative year-over-year earnings growth. By 2Q24, the Fed will have seen enough of a decline in inflation and rise in unemployment to begin gradually removing the restraint they have impaired to the economy. And a lot of people do watch the VIX. VIX is at all-time lows right now, post-COVID lows. They expect the VIX to generally trade higher in 2H23, so the second half of this year, but a surge may not be imminent. So as long as option selling remains prevalent and given summer seasonality. We have Powell again on the Hill today. He's testifying to the Senate Committee on Banking. Yesterday, he testified to the Services Committee to the House. He basically, in prepared remarks, repeated what he's been saying. Officials see rates somewhat higher by year end. Process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go. Today at 10 a.m., he testifies to the Senate. My guess is that his prepared remarks are going to be similar, if not the same, as they were yesterday, but it all comes down to the Q&A session as to what kind of questions and how he answers them. And yesterday, B of A published a note, and this is very interesting, that they watch certain Fed speakers, and they highlight that they watch Waller just because.
Of course, the biggest bear of them all.
Yes, they do watch Waller because, and they cited this line in their note, quote, core inflation is just not moving, and that's going to require probably some more tightening to get that down. And in summary, they say that Waller is one of the 12 out of 18 members of the FOMC that expect 2 or more rate hikes this year. He is on the hawkish end of the committee, but more importantly, he is also one of the best economists on the committee. Even Powell yesterday in the testified saying that they expect maybe 1 or 2 more hikes. And so we're going to have to see if all of them come into agreement. But over at Bloomberg, Lisa Amberwitz goes to show that there's a difference of Fed messages yesterday. Goldsby says last week's decision not to hike rates was a close call. Bostic says doesn't want to raise rates again this year. And Powell signals more rate hikes ahead.
Yeah. And so what I would say to that is pay attention to the 3 top ones that we hear from, right? You just said it. Waller, we got Bullard, right? And Jerome Powell. Those are the 3 top heads that I pay attention to. Just why? Because it seems like they have like the overhead talk on the Fed table. Of course, there's some other members, but it seems like those 3 love to be in the headlines, love to be in the limelight. So I pay attention to those comments. Like always, we're going to go ahead and try to bring you guys Nick's tops must-knows before the market open. Appreciate you coming on today, Nick.
I got one question for Nick before he bounces. Nick, did you get any idea on what a line for that Musk-Zuckerberg fight is? Is there any type of betting line for that?
We getting this on MGM bet soon? What we getting?
I would totally sports bet an Elon Musk Mark Zuckerberg fight. I'm just throwing it out there.
There hasn't been anything regarding betting, but if there is,
I heard Zunaid wants to do the esports call for that one.
Yeah, like who would you bet on?
I would take Elon.
I would take Elon.
I'm taking Mark. No question.
Yeah, the working out that Mark Zuckerberg does is fine. That dude has never been in a fight in his life. There's no way.
I don't know, man. Any guy that can do that many push-ups.
Mark, I think, does jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, dude. I got to go with Mark, man.
Well,
I think we.
All right, let's bet it. Let's bet it. We don't even need a line. We'll just bet it between us. Let's go.
I got one for you. At the moment, the rumors of the line currently being Mark Zuckerberg minus 500, Elon plus 300. So if you want to give me even money. Now you want the odds.
The odds. Now you want Elon's plus 300. Those are better odds than minus 500.
I'll give you plus
take
300.
That.
Done.
All right. Let's get to the stock market action. Thank you, like always, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Throwing us a nice curveball, getting us started. We'll see you next time, my friend. Take care.
See you guys.
Also, Smoke Tuna saying why I feel like Nick and Ryan are related. We're not, but dude is on point with his news report, so I'll take that.
We'll take it. Let's go taking a look into the market. I'm going to pull up Ryan's outlook here for the S&P 500. We'll kick it to Zunaid and get ready for the open, guys. You guys smash the like. Let's keep it going. Live trading with Benzinga.
I'll be very quick about that given Nick's excellent report here on the news. As far as the SPY, the broader market like NASDAQ and some of the other indices go, I'm looking, do we continue lower or do we bounce? Really, that's the only question I have. My outlook is bearish. I think that the market should be coming in. We've got levels beneath us that this market is likely to go to if we do in fact come in. Really, the only question is, does that materialize? I thought the market has need to come in for a while. It seems to bounce and print new highs. So what I want to do today is see if we get any type of continuation. If we do get a down market, it should make some of these smaller plays easier to discern relative strength and hopefully will give us a better target or group of targets that we should go after. So that's pretty much all I have here for the SPY. Now let's take a look at the movers tool here. This is actually a little bit different from the first time that I checked this here this morning. First stock I have here is LCFY. This is Locafay Limited. Locafay shares are trading higher after the company announced an agreement with a US-based media publisher to utilize entity-based Keystone SEO technology. So this is popping pretty good here this morning. I'm actually not familiar with this. This is definitely one that I would want to wait out, especially to see some of the trading action. The range has been carved out here where it went as high as 22.05. We actually came back to 14 and bounced there. So it'll be interesting to see how LCFY LCFY does here today. Next one on the list is going to be Pixie. This is Shift Pixie. We've traded this before. This has been a mainstay on the relative volume scanner. 320, 321 seems to be the level to break the top off here. If in fact we get that, let me go ahead and mark it. I'm just going to mark 320 for my OCD. And then on the other side, the bottom here, we've got 240, but really we have another support area right in here, about 254, 250-ish. So I didn't see any news for Pixie earlier. Let's see. Yeah, I still don't really see any news here. If you folks figure anything out, please let the chat know. But this is up here today. We've traded this technically and on relative volume in the past. Looks like we're going to do that again. Root, next one on the list here. Now, Root is up on a catalyst. You can see here, we actually traded up in the after hours yesterday. We're actually holding those gains and slightly higher here this morning. Root shares are trading higher following a Wall Street Journal report suggesting the company has received a takeover bid. That takeover bid was for 19 and change. Let me see if I can find it for you. 19.34 a share. Nothing's been finalized. So that bid hasn't been finalized. Maybe there are other players trying to bid for this company. We don't know. But that report yesterday has sent Root spiking here today. And this is definitely going to be in play here today on Root. So let me go back to one of the other ones. We do have a couple of more to go over here. Let's see if I can get my chart to work. Zunaid, I'm actually just going to kick it to you. Oh, nope. There it goes.
Good.
Nope. Zunaid, I'm going to kick it to you here.
All right. Sounds good. So on the MES side of things, this is not real money. This is a prop firm. So just full transparency there, but I'm looking to go short. Currently I'm short one contract here, but I'm looking to go short at the 43.99. Now let's talk about some real money trades that I am going to go ahead and put on. I am waiting to see how this, whoop, that music's a little too loud in my ear. There we go. I am waiting to see how this 120 is going to behave. I am interested in going short Google around the 120 area with a stop loss of 120.50s. So that's one that's going to be on my radar to start things off here at the opening bell. And then I'm also going to go ahead and take a look at Tesla, which I typed in, but I didn't make it work because it was on another screen. Here we go. Tesla 250. As you can see, the pre-market is holding support as you had about a 70-second drawdown from there. 70-cent drawdown from there. So keeping an eye on Tesla at that 250 level. We will see if it wants to go ahead and break that support and continue its way down, or if it's going to go ahead and find support and go ahead and make its way to the upside. So we'll see how that kind of plays out on TSLA. Let's go ahead and take a look at Apple here. Apple, the level for me is quite simple and quite easy. It's going to be this one, the 183. So you can see you had support held on here, and then we currently are holding on to that support here in the pre-market area as well. So looking to go short Apple at the break of 183 and possibly on the retest, and then we'll see if it's able to move to the upside. You can see how this support area turned into resistance later on in the day, especially here in the pre-market as well. So matter of fact, you can see support, crack. Got right back up, held its support, moved to the upside, got down, held its resistance, still holding on its resistance. So we'll see how things play out on that side of the C. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know nothing else to say there. But you've got Rivian
You were thinking
here
about the submarine people, weren't you?
That's probably it. I hope they're well, but you know, yeah. Yeah, hopefully things turn out well there. But you've got Rivian here. So you've got this nice little trend line. So if you're interested in trading Rivian, I think you can maybe get a nice little support. If you're a swing trader, keep an eye on this one. See if it fits your risk criteria and your appetite, because possibly it might be a good area to go long kind of in this department. And then if it does go ahead and crack, then you can go ahead and bail at the 1350 break or so. And maybe, you can try to play some upside and then wait for the break, add there, and try to multiply your gains. But nonetheless, let's see how things play out. This is what I've got on Rivian. We've got about 6 minutes left, so we got plenty of time to the opening bell.
I got some more here to go through real quick. All right. Sorry about that. The other one here is going to be TALS. This actually popped as high as 3. We do have a catalyst here. Talaris Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company and Tourmaline Bio announced a new merger agreement. So this is trading higher here. I did notice Ape was up, but I'm obviously not going to trade that. ROIV, this is another one that was up here. Well, this popped actually almost as high as 11, come back to 1041 here. We'll see where this actually ends up setting up. And then the other thing is we have a reverse split here today. Meds, this is yesterday. For those of you following in the small account challenge, you'll notice that I actually took some of this in the small account challenge yesterday. I tweeted it out. We were not on the show. They went through a 1-for-15 reverse split. The stock has 700 shares in the float now, likely to be pushed around here today. Let me go ahead and show you the Moo position. Let me go ahead and make this full screen. Okay, so you can see yesterday, this is where I bought it. Split adjusted, looks like it's at about, hang on one sec here. Okay, so meds here. If we take a look at the actual position here, you can see I'm up $18.45 on this already. That's actually a pretty good profit given the small account. So I'm likely going to take gains here out of the open. What I want to see is, does it push up? Do we get a actual like push up out of the open for this? That would give me an opportunity to close it. We'll see. But again, keep in mind this is now a low float stock, currently at the high here. 623 was as high as 636 split adjusted yesterday. So we'll see if this ends up working out. That is a position I'm carrying. I'm not necessarily looking to buy anymore. Instead, I'm looking to actually just kind of close the position from yesterday. So that's what I got. It's also worth mentioning AGLE. This was up 400% here in the pre-market. This is going for $1. This is for you penny players out there. I think it looks like, what was it? Easy Mike already traded that, or Wisdom already traded that, or Raz? Yeah, Raz. In and out of Eagle already, or AGLE. So this one might be a little bit more crazy. I'm going to avoid this. We have a lot of other targets here today. We open in less than 4 minutes. Zunaid, kicking it back to you.
Let's go ahead and talk about PayPal, ticker PYPL. We've got the 67. This music is a little too loud again. Okay. PayPal, $67. So you've got resistance there, popped up, held on at support, holding on at support. How will it go ahead and break or go ahead and move here? Let's go ahead and set those alerts right there at 67. If I were to get in this trade on the long side, I would try to get in at about $67. Stop loss would be $66.50. Taking the first gains at $67.50 and then 68 and then 50 cents there on after. So that's what I've got on ticker PYPL. And of course, you've got resistance right there quite easily to be able to mark that one. Let's see what we've got on the Qs. I haven't taken a look at them in a minute. You've got nice little support right over here. Looking left, you can identify that at the 360 mark. No surprise whatsoever. So if you're interested in going to the long side on the Qs, I would say the closer you get to 360s, the better. The crack and the retest, we can go ahead and possibly short it with about a 50-cent movement of a stop loss there as needed. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of other stocks. Let's go ahead and take a look at oil. So this is the trend line that I've got on oil. This is MCL. You've got, touches of 1, 2, 3, and now it's cracking here. So what I'm interested in is for this candle to break. This is the 30-minute chart for this to go ahead and break. And I believe around the retest, I am going to go ahead and snag one more contract. Matter of fact, I'm going to snag about maybe 2 to 3 contracts with a stop loss right up there at 71.25. This might get about 50 cents or so. We shall see how this one kind of plays out on crude oil futures that I've got. This is the August one. And let's also see if there's anything. Did we mark this one? Yes, we did. So we've also got the E-mini on the SPY index futures, the S&P. Currently short just one contract here on the MES side. Looking to go short again twice with 2 more contracts on the 43.99. Stop loss for me is probably going to be about 5 points. So let me go ahead and move this up a little bit. There we go. So risking about $60 on that trade if we do go ahead and get filled. Let's see where VWAP is on this puppy. Let's go to the 15-minute. I can show you. Cool. So it's right. You can see the reason I like this trade is because you've got VWAP, which is at the 4,400 hold number VWAP, and we'll see if it goes ahead and comes back to fill us and then takes a little bit of a move to the downside. But we'll keep you posted on that trade. Again, keep in mind, like I said in the beginning, but for those of you that might have just joined us, this is a prop firm account, so this is not my real money trade. But the ones that I do plan on taking with real money is going to be a short of Tesla after it breaks 250. We're also looking to possibly short Google if it comes back to test the 120s. And those are the 2 main things here. And then, of course, Rivian, if you're a swing trader on Rivian, you might be interested in the trend line that we had drawn earlier to see if that works with your risk appetite. But if there's anything else in the chat that y'all want us to take a look at, let us know. Let's go ahead and go over Amazon while we wait for tickers to pop up. And you've got nice support being held at the 124. You can see I've already got alerts set. So if it cracks this 124, I am interested in going short. And there's the opening bell. Good luck. Stay green. Stay patient. Stay disciplined. And let's see how the market.
Love to hear, baby. Zunaid saying it right. Let's go.
Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. What was I just looking at? Totally forgot. But there's Tesla breaking the 250. So that's the first thing on my mind. You've also got Google. Nice little just dump at the open. No surprise there. That's almost $1 move from that 120 level. And look at that. So maybe I should have placed this trade instead of yapping away, because as soon as market open, tested the 120 level and then yanked to the downside. What is that? A 70 plus, 80 plus cent move in your favor if you follow the game plan of going short there. But for every great idea, there's also another one that doesn't work out in your favor, as this one hasn't quite broken the 250 and held, pops right back to the upside. We'll wait. We're going to try to trade this one on the 15-minute chart. Speaking of which, let's go to the 15-minute chart here. And
trying to take some profits in Adobe here for the swing trade. It's one of my best swing trades right now. I'm up about 2.8%, but Adobe could bounce at any moment. I'm trying to take at least another little profit take here and then look to see if it goes lower. Today's one of those days that I actually feel like we could get a little bit of a bounce in the Qs. Why? Because we leaked all morning. And so that leak all morning was kind of what I expected at the open. It already came. So now I'm expecting it maybe get a little bit of a pop here back towards 362s on the Qs. Be careful out there, team. I could see a little bit of a pop. Adobe not filling here just yet. So I'm going to actually cancel my order here and try to actually move it up just to get it filled here. I feel like we could get a little bit of a bounce. So I'm just going to go on the offer. There we go. Paid myself good here.
If you're looking to go good. Let me put your charts up.
I have it in the Moomoo account.
Okay.
Moo, baby. Got the Moo hat on today.
Nice.
Med's going to be halted, 685, halted to the upside if it holds here. It is halted. Meds is halted to the upside. All right.
Nice.
Might have hooked one here.
All right. You got your Moo up there, Ryan, if you want to kind of explain that.
So right now we're up $46. This is a massive profit for this particular account. So we're going to be closing this as soon as this opens. I'm basically just going to make sure that I don't miss this right out of the open here. So Meds, this worked. Reverse split to a low float, big pop to the upside. We'll see if it actually moves higher here. But nice little move here in Meds. I'll keep you guys posted on it.
Getting a little bounce right now at the gates here. Defensives, technology, just slightly in the red from the open. I'm going to look to see if that goes green here. On the red side, you got oil names. Wouldn't you know it, baby? Still playing them oil names to the downside. I'm going after them, team. I've been holding XOM since 108.42. Looking for that 101 break towards 100. Can we break down through daily lows right now through like kind of 102.20s, 102s on the day? We'll see what happens there. Now starting to bounce a little bit on oil.
If Tesla gets to the 256s, I might be interested in short. Let's pull up our broker and let's go here. Let's see if we can short at
Pixie back to the VWAP.
So much there. Pixie. Okay. Pixie.
Thank you, right. Much appreciated. I'll let you know when I actually close this trade. Right now, I've got nothing booked. Crow calling Pixie to 3. It looks like that might happen here. Pixie moving.
Share my Moo screen here. Gonna try to get another Moo trade on. Yesterday, a really nice trade in the SQQQs, pushing me higher, guys. 594s. Can we get into the 600? I'm trying, team. I'm trying.
Yeah, great patience on both of y'all's part with the Moo account, because mine is ugly, hideous, almost non-existent.
No
so
worries.
Shout out to y'all for being a lot more patient.
Yeah, I'm working on something special for Moo for us next month. So get excited about what could possibly be coming here, guys. You guys know I'm always trying to bring extras. So get ready. July is going to be fun. I got a special treat for you guys out there.
Can't wait to get my $1 million deposit. Appreciate you.
Don't worry, Zunaid. It's coming, my friend. It's coming. It might be in some coins or something.
I mean, that's fine.
Some digital coins, right? How much is Shiba now?
Hey.
The Sheebs There's a pop back up to the upside. It kind of was looking for this now, team. I'm starting to get this little up move. I think we could see some stocks push today. So, like, let's say like a stock like NVIDIA, where everybody wants to probably go short and thinking that they're going to nail this. That'd be one that I maybe look for a little pullback buy here and risk off the 424s today. I'm actually thinking about upside here, coming right back in a beast like NVIDIA.
You've got Google that popped right back up. So there it is, coming right back above the 120s.
All right. Got that extra cam up here. Getting ready to go. See what stocks sell. Nice little day there. At least nice little pop to start here. Here comes a little pullback for NVIDIA. Just came to VWAP around 424.68. So I'm going to try to get it right below there and risk off the 424s here.
I'm taking a quick shot at Google. Stop loss for me is going to be the high of day. So currently high of day is approximately 120.15. That is my stop loss. I am short Google. My average price on that puppy is 119.81.
I hesitated there a little bit, team. It just went to like 424.34s, and I should have just hit it on the offer. I tried to get in on the bid, no fill there, and just right back up to 425. So looking for a little bit of a dip back below 424.50s, but it could just run without me now.
Threes on Pixie here. A nice pop above Pixie. Crow, that was a great call. Great call, Crow, on Pixie to start the day here.
Quick stop loss on Google. I'm out of that trade. Nice. So Jan, did you take it on that initial 120? Did you take it on that initial 120 touch and then the break to the downside? Oop, something just got filled. Looks like my MES trade.
Look at NVIDIA. Nice little bounce off that VWAP. Just missed it, team. Slow there. That's my fault. Should have nailed that one. That's going to be a little bit of a frustrating one. It's already back towards the highs. 426.50s would be up about what? Nice $2 already.
All right, we're short 3 micro contracts on the S&P 500 index futures for September. Average price for us is approximately 43.98.
Look for a VBOT bounce in AMD. AMD's recently gotten hit pretty hard, so I'm looking to see if this one could bounce back today. Pullbacks to 1290s, 1280s. That's what I'm looking at.
I'm still waiting for meds to open. I'll let you know what happens when that does. Then I'm going to be looking for more opportunities. The cool part about this for the small account is that there was no day trade used up here. So this won't affect the day trades since I opened it yesterday and looked to close it today.
Love that. Love that. And that's a nice little swing.
Nice little overnight swing. Gotta actually close this before I start celebrating, but initial move here into the halt is good. We'll see what happens when it unhalts.
Like to hear that, Ryan. Way to take a shot, my friend. All right, getting that downturn here in AMD. Going to start slowly getting in here. Just got a little bit there, long on it. Trying to get a little bit more here. All right, just got a little bit more. Feeling on this pullback here on AMD.
Come on.
See if we can go a little lower here. I'll add a little bit more.
So Tesla's one of the stocks that's relatively weak. You've got NVIDIA that is as well. BABA as well. BABA just straight downside. Yikes, what a bleed. Not seeing much in the stock land.
All right, gonna look for another add below 112.50s. Order out to add a little bit more on AMD if I could get it down below 112.50s. Do have a nice little starter there on AMD at 112.72.
Nice VWAP bounce on Tesla. The next area where I'd be interested to short Tesla would, let's see, maybe the 56s.
Come on, give me that fill. Come on. No fill there on the pullback. It went right to 47. I was at 48 there. Now I got a little bit.
All right. So far, we're in the money by about 3 points on our MES short. I'm going to wait till about 43.92.50s.
Love this.
Take
You
my
folks
gain.
are trading VSIG, just smoking that VSIG. Hopefully that's profitable for everybody. Let's go.
All right, so going to risk about a little bit over $60 here towards 111.97 here on the AMD trade. But I got 112.60s now. So I like that outlook there. Going to look to see if AMD can come right back up.
Approaching meds open here if it's a 10-minute halt.
NVIDIA still around these same levels here, so I kind of like it here to the upside, but we'll see what happens. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3 right now. Going to look for the upside move through 426 here on NVIDIA. It already went through it. I can't the thing with NVIDIA, man, is just the spread's already like 30, 40 cents, right? And so then when you get that upside action, it's usually like really quickly 90 cents higher. So just be careful with NVIDIA right now. That thing is moving fast. It's wicked. Even on a 1 minute, it's moving about $1.55.
Tesla high a day here.
Oh, I like that turnaround there on AMD. I'm going to actually look to add a little bit more on AMD on pullbacks towards 112.50s here. It's right back up there.
I went short on Tesla here. Average price. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, put my stop loss in real quick. There we go. Average price is 256. Looking to take gains at 255 as a first fill.
AMD back towards 112.86 there. That looks good there for me. So for like Mumu, I'm looking at maybe doing even a SOX L trade right back to the upside here on the VWAP. That's looking interesting off of 2240s. It's already up there though. Started spiking there already to 67 there. Quick spike there, guys. AMD already towards 113. Canceling my buy add, canceling even my stop. We're right back above VWAP. Now I'm going to look for it to hold VWAP 113 pullbacks and go higher on AMD. I'm taking that shot on there on the prop account. There it goes, right back up there. I'm down towards 112.60s. Ooh, look at that. Already up about a point here. Let's see if it can break through the high here and just rip. Maybe getting a little greedy, but we'll see what happens. Nice little 100 move already.
You've got Baba calls coming in on the ask expiring this week. $87 calls expiring this week, approximately $80,000 worth. As you can see, Baba with a nice move.
Crow's asking, nice, Ryan, what made you take meds yesterday? One of my trader buddies was like, meds is going to have a 1 for 15 reverse split, and it's going to have like 700K shares in the float. Last time we saw some of these reverse splits, they end up running on that very next day. So I was like, oh, I'll take some while it's 30 cents here. And I've got, after the split, I've got 45 shares. So that's what made me take it. Upcoming reverse split, just taking a shot here on a penny stock for the small account.
BCIG on halted currently at 625, 640s, 650s.
Looking to see if 113.40s holds here. If it does cut down through 114.30s, I'm going to take a little bit off here on AMD, but I'm looking for the rip above 113.60s. There's 113.60s showing up. Will it get the rip there through the 113.70s? Highs around like 113.90s here. I'm getting an alert on XPEV. I'll take a look at what that looks like in a second. That's just levels that I have drawn, but I like to call that out for you guys too.
Yo, Daddy Backstrap, love this. Currently at $780 on my $500 account that you've been trading alongside us doing the small account challenge. So you're doing better than both of us. Awesome job there, Daddy Backstrap.
Well done, well done, well done. Let's see.
All right, now just to make sure that I get profits, I'm setting the trailing stop here at the 113.40. So pretty much like if it comes right back down through that level, yeah, I'll take majority of it off there. I got about 70 shares that I will take off there. I have 100 shares at AMD right now at 112.60s. So I'm looking for the rip above, but if it pulls back to VWAP, I want to take out some majority of the position and look to really add just in case we get into a little bit of a chop fest. But one thing that tells me we're pushing strong is look at SOXL, man. Look at this move. That's a nice little move in SOXL. So at least semiconductors getting a nice little lift here. NVIDIA pushing higher. Nice little rule of three worked out there. Man, that NVIDIA buy that I kind of struggled on, I just got to let it go. That's why I went for AMD, looking for that one. Micron's usually been getting hit lately. Intel has one that gotten hit. Look at that move up right there. So I think that a lot of people were looking short and just leaning short today. So that's why I kind of went also long on that outlook. Adobe, glad I took some profits. It's already up there to 477. We'll see what happens there. AMD trying to get through the 80s. Can't do it. Just turned around right there. So I might get hit here on the pullback here, back to VWAP. And you can see that we're just meeting resistance, right? And so that can mean a pullback to VWAP. So I'm looking for the breakout, but if I don't get it, it's okay.
Meds open and it's much higher now, above 8 here on Meds, 852.
There you go, Ryan. I think today we might have to give you an upgrade.
Oh, I got a crap fill. I tried to fill on that pop. I got a crap fill. So here you go. So I ended up getting filled at 804.73. It's worth noting here. Let me see if I can find it.
Did you mark it?
Yeah, I did a market. I waited for the pop and then did a market order. And I actually got filled on the lower end of the range, but that's okay. So let's take a look at this. So first of all, this is the sell. Let me go back. If I do filled, I can't do this from yesterday. Okay,
Sold
let me see if I can show you.
Sold some on AMD. Just want to let you guys know.
So massive win in the small account. We made $100.23 off of our initial investment of about $291 when we ended up buying this. Let me see if I can actually change this to yesterday. You can see here, I bought 675 shares of Meds, by the way, going for 9 now. So Med's going even and back down to 840. It's wild. It's all over the place because it's so thin. But anyway, I filled 675 shares yesterday at what was the price in here? Order time session. Why doesn't it give me the price? Anyway, it was like 39 cents. Sold today, so massive gain here. $100 actual money gain here. If I go to the Me tab, you can see I'm actually above the starting balance now. We have done it finally after pulling it back down with some bad days. We're able to recover and get above now. You know what this means, folks. I'm coming for Mitch. I'm coming for the crown, Mitch. I'm
coming for me, baby. You coming for me? Look, I got that moo in the back. You think I'm worried, baby? I'm ready.
No, I if there's one thing I know about you, Mitch, is that I know that you are not worried.
Moo in the back there. You guys see it? It's hanging out with me.
So great start here. Great start to the morning here.
All right, all out of AMD there, guys. So what I did was as soon as we popped above 113.80, sold some there. I filled some at 113.76, and then I set a stop at 113.70 for the rest. It just pulled back to VWAP. I can always get back in AMD. Now I got a nice little almost $100 cushion to work with. Is what I've been trying to do a little bit more. Get a nice cushion on the day, then take some swings.
I went ahead and closed my MES short. I lost about 3 points on it.
All right, no worries. Keep it battling, man. It's going to be a long day. Getting that up bounce here. We'll see if things turn around at 10 to the downside, but for right now, I'm still playing upside. Now I'm getting that strong pullback on AMD. It could come back all the way to 112.50. So that's why I'm not just jumping right back into AMD here. There he goes. It's trying to go back to 76 there. It's at 69. I'm keeping an eye on that. How's NVIDIA doing? Oh, man, that's going to be a little bit of a miss there. You guys saw me a little earlier. This was one of my top watches in the morning. I wanted to get NVIDIA back to the upside. Just was too slow at that 124.50 area. But right back up there to 428s. Nice little move higher, out of the rule of 3, pushing higher. Nice little move. We'll look to see if it pulls back to the 9 EMA, but for right now, almost to 429. AMD, I'm going to look for a little bit of a pullback to VWAP and then a continuation, but it could just continue here. You having a good day. Unity trying to go back towards 3830s here. I'll keep an eye on that. So just keeping an eye on to see what's moving on the day. ARKK names, how the growth names doing today. There's some names doing well. Shop bouncing back a little bit. Yeah, trying to hold VWAP now on a recent pullback. We'll see what happens there. Just looking around, team. There's a nice little AMD VWAP pullback. We'll see what happens if I go after it here. Seems like it's a little bit of a heavy candle. It's harder to go on these heavy candles, but you could get another candle right back up, right? That's the hard part. Let's go to the 5-minute and see how that looks. Looks like it's building. If it breaks around 112.80s, though, could go to 112.50s.
MGOL, this looks like this is getting ready to go here on MGOL. We came back to the VWAP, looking like it's going to go for 3 here on MGOL.
All right, Amazon, nice move up. Apple, nice move up too. I saw that, team. So you guys let me know what's moving out there. Carvana looking to dive. Oof, forget that then. There's a lot of stocks making a nice move.
Meds halted again. That's the second halt for Meds. Remember, I told you that's liable to get crazy.
Amazon breaking out to the upside, almost at 128 crack.
Man, yesterday Carnival stopped me out at the open, and I did not nail that swing short smoked tuna. So I'm glad somebody did. That's what I like to hear, baby. That's what it's all about.
MGOL, I've got 3 and 302 as possible spots.
AMD doing that 1250 move right back down there. So I'm going to try to get in there. I tried to get towards the 1260s, and it bounced right off of that. I'm going to try to get back in there off of that 1250s. If it can come lower here and just kind of click that and go higher, that's what I'll be looking for. Got to keep the risk and reward really tight and maybe risk some of the gains that I already have. So play with some of the house's money, baby. There we go, getting that little dip down. I'm sure the Qs are dipping fast too, so be careful out there, team. We are seeing a little bit of like kind of that 10 a.m. downturn right back, a little bit of that chop action here. I get that 50 crack, and it cracked really quickly. It's trying to come right back up through it. I still didn't get a shot there. I didn't get the entry there. It was just really quickly off of that 50. Already some buyers stepping up right here. I'm looking for another 1150 try here.
Market trading up here. MGOL pulled. MGOL pulled to the VWAP here. It looks like it's going to try to go here on MGOL.
We're out at 42 here. You're going to try to get a little bit of a cut down ad on AMD. Get right back in it. I'm trying to get it here on a little pullback. It's gone to 50s multiple times now. Hit 53 just now. Do I just step up here? Yeah, I'm going to probably need to step up if I want it. I had a shot there at the 50s. Just not getting filled here on good fills today. But that happens sometimes, team. So we're right back up there.
Wait, Walter, are you
a little dip fill?
Oh, never mind. I read your next comment. You're predicting that it'll close, right? Because I was looking at my charts and I was a little confused. I assume you're predicting that ES will close the gap.
Sorry about that, guys. Not the best execution on me today. A little slow there on the moves there, and that 150 bottom, it went to 112.47. Should have been able to get an entry there. Looking for AMD to go back towards the trend line up 113.70s. We'll look to see if it works there. All right, let's go to the Mumu count, see if I can get maybe Soxel here. It still hasn't pulled back to the VWAP. I'm looking around to see what semis I can maybe find. on that type of move. Intel with such a strong move now coming right back down. That looks interesting as that's already caught a bounce here.
Becca on Tals from the list here this morning. It looks like that's curling. Meds holding that 770. I was able to get out higher than where it's at now, so that's cool.
How the Q's looking here? They're topping a little bit, so just be careful a little bit. So we'll see if we get the next leg up. That's a move through a close on like the 5 minute of 362, 363 actually. So it looks like we're running into a little resistance there. There is the next move. That AMD is going to be a little bit hard to chase now. I'm going to cancel my AMD order that was out there. Just never got filled. It's right back up, though. It's a good outlook. Bad execution on my part, guys. Gotta admit it. Gotta admit it. When your execution's not on point, man, that's one of the hardest things for traders to admit. And I think that you just have to just call it how it is. I was a little bit lagging there. Had the plan, didn't trade the plan.
Self-identification of weaknesses or what you did wrong, often one of the harder things to do. So grats on being able to identify and fix it.
Yeah. It's not the easiest way, but I'll tell you one thing, team. The more you're honest with yourself, the better you're going to get, guys.
You got that right.
Know when you're having it, know when you're not. Right now, I was doing really well. I'm just now slightly getting out of in the zone, and I need to get back into it. How can I do that? Look around, right? Try to find what's moving. Try to find maybe something that's lagging that I wasn't able to get onto. NVIDIA's still driving higher. It's red, but look, is it really red? I mean, not from the open. I can tell you that much. That thing's driving. 429 now. That's definitely going to be a stock that I kind of missed there. Why I wanted AMD is because it's gotten hit harder than even NVIDIA in the last couple of days. So I was thinking this could come back. This is still looking pretty decent there on AMD. Look to see if that drives higher. Soxel is another way to kind of play this. Look, 2290s almost now. And this did do a nice little view out bounce. I missed this view out bounce on the pullback. I was still in AMD, but 2250s look beautiful there on Soxel as you're going right back towards 2290s. All right, going to stay after it. We'll see what happens in the market. It's been one of those days where I think we're just seeing a little bit of a turnaround here where we're going right back to the upside. So looking around to see best performing areas right now. Internet retail, overstock.com, of course, got the mentions for triple BY. And this has all the ability to squeeze. I'm looking on pullbacks for it here on OSTX, on Overstock. Let me see if I can get this, guys. 2270s would be my outlook to try to get this on a pullback. See if I can get that outlook here. I would love a little pullback here towards the 2070s, 2270s. Let's see if we get it. Looking at overstock.com. Overstock. Amazon doing well today. Come on, Overstock. Come back to me. Need you to come back to me. You can blame it all on me.
Let's see. You've got Tesla looking to touch VWAP for the second time. If you're interested in that one, as you can see, the first time was here at 935, coming down a bit more. I've got VWAP around 254, 50s or so. Let's see what's going on with Google. Ooh, wow. Google, beautiful move to the upside.
All right, looking around for some more options here. MGOL pulled back.
Order out for Overstock at 2270s on pullbacks. I'll try to get filled on that. I think it could be quick pullback to 2270s. I'll even add towards 2250s. Going to risk off like kind of the 2230s. This would be in the prop account, not the Moomoo account. That's a little bit too fast of a trade for Moomoo. about AI to the upside. I'll look for that to maybe get a little bit of a squeeze. What about CXAI that took a real beating yesterday?
Yeah, it sure did.
That's still getting the beating.
I'm getting
that can
impatient.
come back, but
I'm getting impatient with Baba. I'm going to go ahead and close this one out for about a 25-cent gain on it. I'm out of Baba. Again, those options were for $87 calls expiring tomorrow, so might have another 50-cent move, if not more. But for me, I am going to get out of Baba.
sounds smart, man.
There it is. Yep, got on the VWAP test, and we got out about 40 cents higher.
SOUN going for the highs here.
AI lining up here, trying to make a move. We'll see what happens. I like to pull back to 38.10 and then a quick move to 38.50s. We'll see if that happens here.
And my mouse just vanished. Nice.
SOUN at 4 here.
Overstock bouncing already. I'm looking for that VWAP test. I have to step up in the 80s. CXAI or yes, AI coming back here towards the VWAP. That also looks interesting for me.
SOUN looking like it's trying to break off 405 here and go higher on SOUN. Trying a little bit of this at 397. This is the main account, not the Mumu account.
Let's see here. What do we want?
All right, going to try a little bit of AI here. So getting a little bit of AI. Going to risk. Just know where the risk is for me. 37.80s. That's where I'll risk off of right now. Just got an entry there. Still trying to get an overstock, but I just have an order out.
Aaron says this market is not looking healthy at all. No, as a matter of fact, it isn't. You are correct. SOUN pulling a little bit here.
Let me put y'all's charts up.
Trying to move a little bit closer to overstock here. Try to get a fill. It's right by VWAP here, so I'm looking for a slight tick down below VWAP to get filled here on overstock. There's the slight tick. Can I get the fill? Yes. I got 72 there. So I'm in off the 72s. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit here, closer towards 22.50. So 45 will be the out there.
SOUN coming back towards VWAP here.
All right, so I'm long on overstock, long on AI in the prop account. We'll see what happens with that. Taking some shots here. See if the Qs really come down fast, because that's what could break this kind of trade. See if we squeeze those shorts. NVIDIA will be a nice indicator to see, right? You could look to see if NVIDIA goes like a hard move to 424, or does it keep climbing to 430s? That's one thing that I'm looking at. Got to get some of that moo action going here soon. So I'm going to be watching to take a trade in that account really quickly here. Overstock, pulling back a little bit more here. Could stop me out.
I'm still watching SOUN in here, added a little bit, average 395, looking for a pop above 405. We'll see if we get it. An SOUN, you guys feel free to change the charts or do whatever you need to do, as I'm just kind of babysitting this trade.
No worries. I'll get you guys over to Overstock right now. I'll show you guys my outlook in these trades here. So this is Overstock here, looking for a move right back higher. We're going to look to see if it goes right back up through that 2340s. AI, looking for that to kind of hold here around the 3780s. Looks like I just got hit there in AI. Yeah, just got hit at the 3780s. So took a little bit of a loss there. It really wasn't that big of a loss. Just give you guys $34 there, not much there. We'll look to see if this gets another little lift here on Overstock. So could have maybe just been a little bit too tight there. Overstock hitting me too here. So it should get hit right now. Boom, just got hit there. So 2 stop outs there really quickly. Giving up a little bit of my cushion earlier. Still in the green on the day, but just slightly in the green now. Pretty much break even. So gave myself 2 trades there, 2 losses, puts me right back to break even the way it should on kind of the profit to loss ratio. Kicking it back to you guys. All right.
Still watching SOUN, possible move through 4 and then 405 here. We'll see if we get it. This is SoundCloud AI, so this is part of the AI trade. We'll see if we end up getting a pop.
Like I talked about, Q's pulling back would be kind of that ruining of that trade there. And there's a quick bar from the top of the range through the bottom of the range. Now it could still come back, right? But you see like kind of that expansioning, right? So it went all the way from the top, all the way right back to the bottom. That shut things up really quickly. All right, what's going on out there, team? How we doing? Is Jerome trying to kill the market? That's who's speaking probably right now, trying to just kind of ruin this party.
You're going to be watching the draft today? Or
Oh,
tonight,
yeah.
rather?
Oh, yeah. It's not as exciting as the NFL draft, but I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I want to see what happens at 3 with Portland, because I think Brandon Miller probably goes 2, and I think Portland might consider trading that pick. Scoot Henderson's supposed to be a generational point guard.
Yeah, I'm excited. Speaking of which, we are going to talk to the CEO of Mojo later on at 11 o'clock. So keep an eye out, not just if you live in the New Jersey area, but if you live anywhere, they've got some exciting stuff going on with the sports betting side of things. So keep an eye on that interview at 11. And then we've got ALZN coming on to do an interview with us about some news that they released earlier today at 10:50 or so. So a couple of exciting back-to-back news items for us. And my mouse just went away. There we go.
All right, AI bottoming right around where it got out. So we're going to see what happens right now to see if it pushes up here or does it go lower. Also keeping an eye on the Qs to see what happens on that. Do we VWAP bounce? Do we just stay up here in the range? Apple pulling back a little bit. Still hasn't come back to the VWAP. Microsoft pretty strong here. Google pulling back. Tesla staying strong right now.
Google. Yeah. I mean, let's see what we've got.
Looking around, team. Trying to get another trade in. Let's go. Let's keep it battling.
I am stuck in SOUN. We get a pullback and a snap of VWAP to the downside. I'll be out and wait for another setup. There's the VWAP pull. See if we hold here. Do we break?
Could see a red to green recovery here on the 5-minute candle here for Overstock. I think that one could squeeze today, man. So that's why I'm keeping it on my radar. It's just harder too because it's about like 15-cent spread there for a $22 stock. It's right back up there.
MGOL at 3.
Did anyone buy Rivian from that trend line? Because boy, it bounced right from there to a penny. I'm not a swing trader, but I might have to mess around with this one.
Not a swinger, bro? Come on, bro.
Nah,
Win the
fam.
game. Win the game, bro.
Let's see. Let's go with some calls.
And it's like, I already don't sleep, bro. You want me to watch stocks at 4 a.m.?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Overstock back to 2272. So could have just got me out on that one. I still like AI and overstock here. I'm fighting myself not to get in them, but see what happens here.
If you are interested in that Rivian trade, I took 3 contracts just now, but honestly, I might sell this in like a minute. You can't trust me with that, but it's the July 21st $15 calls on Rivian, and the reason for that. And are you still in that trade? SOUN?
Yeah, but you can change the screen.
Okay.
I'm still waiting it out.
Let me know.
I'll shout
All
it.
right. And my mouse is lost. There it is. All right. So this is a trend line that we had drawn and we talked about earlier when the show started at the top, right? So you've got one. Here, let me go ahead and do this. You've got 1, 2, 3, and we said, hey, this is the area where I'd want to go ahead and buy it. And there you go. So you got it to a T, bounce from there. Now what you want is to kind of have it move right back up. And if you believe that, hey, this is going to be a nice play, EV, all that good stuff, you could possibly get a bounce right back to the upside. 15 would be kind of like my first target to go ahead and sell these, $15, and then about 15.80s, and then maybe even a pop of 16. So that's how I would do it. 111. What's up?
Couldn't help myself back into AI 3796.
Yeah, AI, by the way, speaking of AI, SOUN moving higher here. Looks like it bounced off that VWAP pretty nice. So we'll see on SOUN currently at 395. There's size there that they're taking. So let's see if these AI moves or AI names, move together. 395 down now for SOUN. Well, again, I think that the move here for SOUN is going to be a push through 4 and then 405. Those are the 2 spots that I got.
Yeah, and overstock right back up too. So might have just not timed it right, but they still look good for me. And the Qs are pushing higher. Nvidia pushing higher. Looks like we could get another up move here, team. Soxal just continuing higher. AMD came all the way back down. I'm about to try to get some of that because that doesn't look bad at all. AI already ripping to the upside here. I'm looking for any pullback in AMD to try to get it, but it's just clicking offer bids right now. If I can get below 112.50s, I'll try to shot off 112s.
Megan, to answer your question, $15 calls on Rivian. What's up?
And yes, Jay Rice, you're right. AI, I think there's some sort of conference today. There's an investor conference for C3 AI.
Ooh, I like that outlook there to take a shot, right? Why not? Looking for pullbacks in AMD, not getting it. It's already ripping up here. I'm thinking I might have to jump up towards 112.80s. Let's go off the 15-minute chart, how that looks.
SOUN still trying at this 397, 398 spot. 4 next and then 405 after that if it can get going. Volume actually looks pretty good. Minute formations look good on the chart.
All right, AI already pushing.
They brought in an offer at 396, which is getting hit. Needs to get eaten for this to move higher. They're hitting it, though.
What was I about to look up? Yeah.
Zunaid, what do you have happening in the draft here tonight?
Like me personally?
What do you think is going to happen? Is what I'm asking.
I don't even. I have zero idea.
Wow, Meds 1062.
Yeah, I've got zero idea, pal. I'm just excited for the Mojo conversation because that type of stuff excites me. But besides that, I can't bet on it or anything, so I don't.
All right,
really keep an eye on it.
Sold about 50 shares there of AI there from 37.96. Just want to sell a little bit. Still have 100 shares of it from that same order. Now looking for it to drive higher. Hold 38s on pullback and keep pushing. Let's see what happens today.
I'm going to go ahead and grab 100 shares of AI here, waiting for a pullback to around 38 to go ahead and grab some more. But for now, I'm in at 38.51s.
I like the outlook, right? And so I'm going to keep the same outlook there too. So
SOUN at 4?
Protective stop at 37.90s, and we'll see if it keeps pushing.
Oh, we've got some nice flow coming in. Give me a sec. I'll let you know exactly what it is. Where to go. There it is. You've got NVIDIA, ticker NVBA. The 420 calls coming in on the ask, expiring July 14th. So keep an eye on NVIDIA as that one's looking to break towards the upside here. Again, those are the 420 calls in the money by $10, expiring July 14th. $1 million worth. So they paid a pretty penny for it. But just something to keep in mind.
MGOL going? Sorry.
You're good.
I'm
Let's go
not
and
in
put up
that
your
one. I'm in
SOUN.
SOUN here.
Got your SOUN up.
I'm trying to get overstock again on pullbacks. We'll see what happens.
All right, we're
AMD pushing.
We're 20 cents in the money on our AI trade. Now 30 cents in the money. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to hang on to it, see if we can go ahead and knock on the doors of at least 39, which I guess is only 15 cents away now. Look at that. 30 cents in the money on, well, your SOUN should be working too then, right? It's looking to break that 4.
I'm up on it by 5 cents, but really what I need for this trade to be closed is a break of 4 and 405. That's what I'd be hoping for here.
Yep. So if we go ahead and look to the left after 4, you've got 405 exactly like you mentioned.
Let's go AI.
And here's the AI. So matter of fact, let me do a double box.
That boy Money Mitch.
All right, now you're coming up against the previous close. That could act as resistance. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this trade. We were 50 cents in the money. I am out. My fill on the AI trade was 97. We got in at 51, so nice little trade there. Let's go and put up your SOUN.
SOUN pulled off that 4 spot. Might be stronger on its next attempt through.
We'll see if it keeps going. I didn't take no profit.
I am going to get back in, though. Let me go ahead and add my orders in.
Savage. AI, that's my boy.
Can go ahead and get in at 38, 32 is my fill on a limit side if I can go ahead and get there. But I'm out of AI. The only thing I possess is my Rivian trade, which we're up about 6 cents per contract.
It's that type of day, guys. Let's keep it going out there, guys. Let's see if we can keep the money going. It's a party, baby.
And there's NVIDIA, more new highs after those options came in.
Yeah, man, that was the call today, Zunaid, that I fucked that up, bro.
The NVIDIA looking to go long?
Oh, yeah, man. It was such a good outlook on where I wanted it to. It's just like, damn. Looking back at it, I'm like, oh, good Lord.
So look at that, right? The 420 is holding support. I actually had orders in to purchase NVIDIA at this 420, but unfortunately it never came all the way down there. Missed it by $2. But nonetheless, you can see a bit of a consolidation there happening. As soon as we made all-time highs, you've got consolidations, which is good. I think this is healthy. And then you've got to keep an eye on the breakout. If we go ahead and break out of 440, that 450 could be magnet. So keep an eye on that. If you're looking for, pullback type of buys, let's go to the 15-minute here for a second. Maybe around 430 or so, but to be honest, I don't think that's a good enough level to put my money on there. So 420 or a breakout at 440 is the way that I would play this one. Unless you want to do like call debit spreads and things like that.
Did you guys hear about Root today?
Milky. Hear about who?
Root.
Yes, I covered it in my list here this morning.
All right, well, I'm thinking about taking a buy here on a pullback towards 1301 on Root for the prop account. I think that could run today. I'm looking at stocks that could just squeeze. Overstock definitely is that as one of those stocks that I'm not going to get it now, guys. It just stopped me out just barely. Now up there towards 23s, could just keep pushing.
SOUN back to 4. They actually walked a bit up. Let's see if it can make it through 4 on this round.
From a double box, we'll put your SOUN to the left, and we'll put up the friendly AI to the right.
Do I go after the Root? The Root.
I'm actually
play your roots today, baby. I'm not even looking at AI anymore. I just want to hear you guys call it out.
All right, I'm in.
SOUN through 4. 405 is where it needs to go next. It stopped here. It looks like 401 is the high print. A break here, and it's a new high of day. 405, your next spot. There it is.
Let's go, baby.
Let's
I'm
go.
In at 4.
Working it, baby. I see you guys. Woo, woo, woo. Can we get AI to 39.75? That's the next stop for me.
Rivian, by the way, those contracts are up now 10 cents. So please feel free to exit as you please.
Here we go on SOUN. Let's see what happens at 405. That's a big spot.
I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback en route to get in it, but it's already at 1360. He's going to look for 1334
405
pullback.
at an SOUN and
Come on,
through.
407s. Let's go.
I want to see this get wild now that we've broke that. There we go.
Let's-
409.
Let's see how wild we can get.
Let's get AI. Let's go AI. 3975. Let's make that run.
There's 410.
410, a big spot here.
I'm going to go ahead and close out a majority of my trades here on SOUN, waiting to go ahead and get my fill if I can sell
Yeah,
it.
protecting the trade seems like a really good idea here, Zunaid.
Yep, 409s. I'm out. I've got 100 shares left just for the homies. We'll see how things play out.
Still looking for a little bit of bigger push in AI. Maybe I'm a little greedy today, but I'm looking for it.
By the way, Rivian, those contracts are now up about 12 cents per. I'm going to look to, I have 3, right? So I'm going to go ahead and sell at least one of them here.
The root moving, man, up there now to the 1390s. The root, baby.
Let's see.
Right through 410 on SOUN.
Whew.
Trimming some of my position here, doing exactly what Zunaid did, leaving 100 shares on in case this really goes buck wild. Locked in huge gains, though. Well, not huge, but I mean locked in a majority of the gains.
On SOUN, because obviously I followed your game plan in terms of the break of 4, and I saw that, happening. Did you go ahead and is SOUN like a news play, or is it a sympathy play to AI?
No, SOUN is volume and technical play in a sector that happens to have frequent runs and has a bellwether that people are watching, which is AI, ticker AI, C3AI. So my thought here is that, well, we've got a stock that is trading on high volume. We've got some key levels on the daily chart. AI is still very much in focus. So let's see if we can get some build. If we break through some of these levels, we're likely to attract more traders to that trade, and that could actually benefit us considering we're already in.
Gotcha. Love to hear it.
410 again on SOUN.
Overstock almost right back to intraday highs. That was one that I was looking at, team, that I'm going to be a little bit, didn't trade it the best, right? But look at it, right back up there. I think this one could get moving too. Of course, this one had the triple BY news, now up there to 23, 33s. You guys see the roots up there. Can we hold 39s here on AI? That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. So I'm even going to set a stop here at let's say 38.80s. So if I do need to get out of the rest of it, I will, but I'm looking for a nice little expansion move higher.
SOUN 414 continuing higher here. Still have the trailer 100 shares on.
I think someone asked me if I was still in the Tesla short. No, I got out at the break of 250. Let me see where my average sell was. At the break of 255.58, I got out.
All right, so no matter what, I'll still make about like $80 on this trade, looking to make a little bit more. We'll see if it stops me out on this pullback. It's one of those days, baby. I'm looking for a little bit of some moo action. I know Ryan's been getting some moo action there on the day. How'd that trade go eventually?
Yeah, so the trade went great, Mitch. We actually made $100.23. We took the account from 442 to 552. We're above the starting balance. We're above the S&P 500 returns. We made a mess of this account, but we stayed patient. We slowed down and we remained tactical, and we were able to get this back. So really, really impressed with how I was actually able to do this. Big shout out to my trader buddy who alerted me that Meds was going to be reverse splitting and finish with 700,000 shares outstanding in the float. That's why you're seeing it move here today. In fact, if I go back to the Meds chart, let's take a look at that. Let's go to my new tab here. You can see Meds. This hit as high as 1154. 1154. You can see I was in here, out here, really good overnight trade, did not burn a day trade, really helped my balance out. So really happy with this trade, honestly, Mitch.
Love it. Love to hear it, man. And definitely, if you guys want to check out Moo, threw up the link there. Remember, you guys can be getting a free share of Tesla and Google. Tesla not doing bad today, right? I mean, we're getting that push up. Is this more just a mentality that everybody wanted to short today? Is that's because that's what I thought a little bit. What are you guys thinking now that we've seen a little bit of the open? Do you feel like everyone was just leaning short in here? I feel like it was a real quick turn. Like people were like, the bears came out. Let's just say that much, right? The bears came out.
Certain stocks, you definitely got a bit of a push to the downside, right? So I mean, Tesla started off lower, but now it's popped $10, right? It tested that 250 low. Matter of fact, I believe it went as low as 248, and now you've got like a $12 ripper to the upside on that one. A couple of other stocks are lagging a little bit, but still a nice move. Like Tesla is now. So here's the thing: you've closed the gap on Tesla. Now what is the question, right? Let's see where VWAP is on this one. That's an hour chart. So I'm going to move to the 15 to show you all the VWAP. So now I would not be surprised if we go ahead and come back and maybe test VWAP, or at least go ahead and test the 257.50s. What's up?
I agree with that. I just wanted to mention I did get hit a little bit on that AI pullback at 38.80. I took 50 shares out there for the prop. Now I have another 50 set at 38.75. If it does go through there, I'll get hit also. I'm trying to give it a chance, though, to just keep running.
I think someone asked what my averages were here. Let me just share my screen if I have the screenshot.
Of course.
There
I just noticed Nick was in the back, probably making $1 million while we're talking.
Yeah, feel free to hop on. But whoever asked my
you
averages
feel
were,
free, Nick. Let us know in the chat if you want to hop.
So these are my averages. You can see I still am holding on to the Rivian trade. We bought 3, we sold 1 at 116. So we're still holding on to 2 of those. That is the only position that I have on at the moment, minus SOUN. We bought 500, sold 4, so still holding on for 100 there. And then AI, I'm looking to purchase back if it does have a pullback. But nonetheless, those are my fills there. I did go ahead and break my streak. Where's my stop sharing button? Jesus, man, I need a new mouse. I did break my streak of like 8 straight green days. I did end up red yesterday, but thankfully we're back in the green today. So I cannot complain too much.
Andy JJ saying good stuffs, Brian, and then changing it to Wyan. I think you mean Ryan. So I'm just going to pretend that you were complimenting me, and I will say thank you very much. Hopefully you understood what was going on here. I know with meds, it was a little bit more of a tip, but there was strategy that played into that in terms of its share structure and what we've seen some of these other reverse split stocks do. So hopefully that was helpful. Still have the 100 share trailer in SOUN, by the way. By the way, I put a stop on that trailer at 405. Remember, that was the key level that we had to break on the upside to start this momentum push. So my thought is I've already booked the majority of the gains. If it comes back in towards that breakout level and it doesn't look like it's going to go any further, it's going to stop there. I actually placed this with my broker, so I don't even have to look at it right now. We'll start looking for some other trades.
All right, looking at a little bit of a flag action here to see if we're going to test it or break back up higher here on AI. Just keeping a close eye on it, guys. Got all out for a nice $100 win again, right? A little over $100 again, right back into the green. Let's look to see if we can expand it on the next trade here. Overstock went right back to that intraday high and then turned right back around. We'll see if it goes through 2350s and continues going higher. Root trying to get back through 14. But I wasn't able to get to that one early enough. It's up there. We'll see if it keeps pushing.
NVIDIA once again making upside moves. Those $1 million call options working out thus far. As it makes new highs here, the next resistance area I see is at 435s.
It's one of those days, guys.
You could possibly have some here at the 433s, but 435s up next there as well.
Steel Case. I've never heard about this stock. SCS. Keep Clay. Having a good day. Steel Case. Anybody know about Steel Case? Is that like a phone case?
Is that the submarine people that are at the bottom of the Atlantic?
Oh, no. Too soon. Too soon.
Sorry.
AI, baby. We'll see if we go right back through 39 here. I'm looking at it. It could just squeeze right back up, man. Could have stopped me out and go right back through it. So I'm thinking about maybe risking about 20 bucks of the 100 that I've already made here. So I'm going to take the shot. It's now. It's already pulling back here. I'm fighting myself on it. This is where I've been a little bit hesitant, and that's just because the market does hard reversals. How's the Qs looking here? Are we going to turn around at all? I know Pal's making comments here, driving things higher. Maybe we bring in Nick here. Nick, you want to go ahead and maybe do a little highlight on Pal? I'll bring you on, my friend. Let us know what is our man saying today. What's Jerome Powell saying? Of course, Fed chair is speaking.
He just made kind of two different comments. So first, his prepared remarks, he gave those remarks. They were kind of identical, as I said earlier this morning. They're the same. But one, he said, will be appropriate to raise rates twice more this year, followed by a strong majority of committee feels there is little further to go with rate hikes. He says it would be perfect, but no guarantee that labor market could get into better balance without unemployment rising. There may be some capital increases on banks down to 100 billion, but not below that. But the two headlines that I'm watching is one, that they'll be appropriate to raise rates twice more this year, followed by a strong majority of committee feels there is a little further to go with rate hikes. So he's arguing both sides, and I really thought the one headline did move markets because all three did jump, and now I believe the Dow is lower by 10, 12 points here. But watching his comments, we also had comments from Governor Bowman earlier a few minutes ago, right before Powell started talking, and she said that there's need additional rate increases to curb inflation. Inflation's still unacceptably high despite headline number. We'll look for inflation on a consistent downward path in deciding appropriate policy steps at coming meetings.
Well, there you guys heard it. Nick bringing us the news. Appreciate you, my friend. And if you get anything else, let me know. We'll bring you right back.
I'll be here.
All right, going to continue. I did take a little bit of a shot there in AI, just to let you guys know, full transparency right there. So I took a little bit of a buy there at 38.83s, got out there at 38.57s on the pullback, lost about $26 of the 100. I was a little bit over 100, so I'm at 81 right now, just trying to battle right now in the prop. One thing that I'm noticing, though, is that we're not getting a clear trend now. The Qs are kind of just slowing up and going sideways here. And so that's where I'd be a little bit careful. As we get slower and slower, we could see a leak right back down, right? We have seen that climb. The Qs haven't come back to the VWAP all day long. So that's another thing that I'm keeping an eye on to see if we get a move to the VWAP, and that could come with some pullbacks in tech. If it drives higher to 365, yeah, we could just continue to climb.
Real quick here. Am I? Oh, yeah, you were just full screen. I thought I was off there. Sometimes I get confused when we go full screen on one of the screens. I disappear my camera, and then it's a mess. It's me screwing up. Real quick here, I agree with Megan. Megan said the Fed really screwed up by letting rates go so low. The low rates, the level of low rates, I don't necessarily think was the actual problem. The bigger problem was the length of time that those rates were so low. And I think that that's actually the problem. One of the things about the Fed is that they always seem to be behind. They're looking at lagging indicators. It takes a while for the levers that they pull to actually bleed through the economy. So I'm with you on that part. Sydney suggested that Megan should slap Jerome Powell. Megan said she wishes she could do that. Now, I'm not sure I'd be ready to slap him, but I do agree that the Fed is mostly responsible for what's going on, or a huge chunk of the responsibility. Anyway,
I understand that outlook. Now, one thing I would just say on the caveat to that is that let's just be honest. The Fed did save the market also. So you've got to be okay with them taking the markets down, taking the markets up. That's the truth. They saved the market when the pandemic came. If they did not just have those printers going burr, trust me.
Printers going
trust
burr.
me, we would have just crushed the whole stock market. Because what? Everything was closed. They literally created a false bottom on the market.
Yeah, I mean, they printed money. They printed trillions of dollars, which added to inflation. That's part of the other issue.
That's part of the
actually
game,
a tax on the lower and middle class. It's just a stealth tax.
Yeah, and one thing though that I would say though is that if we're going to be okay with them stepping in and saving the economy, we also got to be okay with them destroying it. Let's just be honest.
Hey, is for someone like me who's in the bearish camp, I think that the market is too inflated. I would look, and let me tell you something else. For all of you newer traders out there that are trying to build wealth that weren't fortunate enough to start with $1 million or however much it is, one of the things that you really, really want is you want this market to come in. You want to be able to buy quality companies at massive discounts, companies like Apple or Costco or Amazon or whatever it is that you're into. This market resetting and bringing a lot of these equity prices back in would be great for the long-term holder trying to build wealth. Yeah, that's definitely what I want.
All right, Q's battling here. I've seen the move trying to get up above 364.50s, but failing there. NVIDIA failing also to try to get above 433s. Will we see a wicked pullback here? I'm looking at it. It looks like it's about to happen. We'll see. So I'm even thinking about maybe do I go back and maybe throw a reversal trade off of the SOX S? That doesn't look like a bad risk to return now, at least if it comes back to VWAP and a little bit above. So remember that also one thing I noticed with the SQQQs and like these leverage trades, a lot of the times they come right back to prior day's levels and they find support. Well, look at the SQQQs coming back to 1968 levels, right around there, now bouncing. I like this for the Mumu trade. I'm actually looking at this for the SQQQs here off like, let's say 1975. We sold it yesterday close to 20. Let's see if we get it again and ride it higher. Trying to get this set up here for you guys. All right, Mumu's ready to go here. Let's see if we can get this onto the Mumu trade here. Trying to get a little bit of a pullback here. Phil, I'm going to have to probably step up towards like 78, 77s. Let's do 77 here on pullback. All right, orders out there for 77. Boom! There we go. We in Mumu here. There's a little bit of a Mumu call out there. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get into it, keep the party going here. I'm actually on the bear necessities here. We'll see if I can go on the bearish side here. Looking for the Qs to pull right back down towards the VWAP. We'll see what happens. A move back above 364.50s will probably end up getting me out here. Going to risk off kind of like the 64s here. So really tight risk here. Looking for a bigger reward.
Wait, did I get filled on this? Oh, I did. Okay, cool. I guess I'm in AI at, what is this? Average price of 38.32.
Surprise, Zunaid.
Right?
Surprise! All right, setting a
Power
little
being
stop
pullbacks.
limit here for the SQQQs at the 64 stop out there. So now I can just kind of leave the trade working. This is what has helped me in the small account challenge, honestly, is that I just don't let anything go through my risk. And I think it's an important thing for small accounts. Of course, we were able to bounce back. Will this be the trade to get me into the 620% up on the account? I've been battling, team. You guys see here, I started taking a little bit of a hit. I'm right back up there towards the top. I'm actually at the top of this account. Let's see if I can get there towards the 600s today. We're going to look to see if the Qs make a hard move to 363. I would like to see NVIDIA crack right back down through the 430s towards the 428s. Overstock, though, staying strong. I will say that. That's one of the stocks that I just didn't play it the best today.
For anyone wondering why I got into AI, it's just a VWAP test. That's all I kind of wanted, for it to come back and test VWAP. My stop loss, where is this stop loss? I believe it's the crack of 38. So my stop loss exactly is about 37.89. My take profit is at around 38.92. By the way, SOUN still chugging along, looking to make new highs, looking to break 416s, currently at 414s. Let's go.
All right, there's the Qs cracking 364s. Let's see if I can move to 363, and it's right back down. Got to stay nimble, baby. AI just hanging off of VWAP. You got plays, right? You got plays to the downside. You got plays to the upside. There's plays out there, team. The key, always understand your risk to reward, right?
What's my
Matt's like, nice entry, Z. I can see you trying there.
Thank you.
He's like, I just said it, bro. Set it and forget it. Set it and forget it.
Yeah, we'll see if the entry was nice, but we'll see if the trade itself works out. We already made money on this one, right? We're already up about $50 on that trade. We'll see if it ends up being neglected.
Root. The root. You seeing it get weak, Crow? The root.
What time is the AI conference?
All right, there's the Q's starting to pull back here. Will we get a crack here? Ooh, NVIDIA looks interesting for me, but every time I say that, man, that shit just goes so fast. There she goes, so fast. Like literally, how long did I take from where I said it to where it went? It's literally like you have to jump on the bid 20 cents if you're going to get in there. NVIDIA is not an easy trade, man. Holy shit. NVIDIA is starting to be like Tesla, where I have to go about it like maybe one share at a time to maybe get the best average.
What's this company called? Oh, C3AI. That's what it is. All right. So obviously it's today in New York City, but I'd like to know.
Like, what's going on, baby?
Oh, so it's at 1:30 p.m. Oh man, it's a ways away.
He's like, damn, I wanted that AI pop, baby.
We talked about this yesterday in, let me see if it's in my history. We talked about this yesterday on Happy Hour. Let me see if I can find it.
Cracking. It's starting to get up here on the moo. Back to like 20, 25 wouldn't be a bad little trade. That'd be a nice little 50 cents here. If I could get that 50 cents, I'll take it. There goes the Q's.
Stopped out on the trailer on SOUN at 405 there. I am all out SOUN. Good trade there to start the day off.
Yep, and I went ahead and gave back my AI trade. So the gains there are now been negated. What was I about to do? Oh yeah, Slack.
Here's the information on the C3 Investor Day. This was a Benzinga article from yesterday. That should give you a link. That should give you a link to the webcast if that's something that you wanted to join.
Almost back to 20s here on the SQQQ, so looking good there. Stocks S also starting to push here. It's lagging a little bit here. I could try to scalp it off of like 85s here on Stocks S, but it's not my type of trade. I don't like scalping. Don't do what you don't like to do.
That's pretty much all I do, Mitch. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it.
I'm telling you, man, everything in me tells me scalp it, scalp it, scalp it. But I'm like, no, Mitch, that's not your game, man. That's not your game, because I have to do what? Like probably get like 1,000 shares there of success. And you can see it's going in the favor, but it's just too much risk for too much like a quick play. Let's see if I get the Q's through the 363 now. It just clicked there. Now trying to bounce at that 363. And so this is kind of where I see support kind of holding in here right around the VWAP. We'll see if we go lower. I needed to go lower to get the full SQQQ trade. That would be really a full reversal.
Market really pulling here. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
You're good. You're allowed, especially when it's in the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's the broader market there.
Yeah, you can see it here also, right? NASDAQ just dropped off. SPY just dropped off.
All right,
big pull on SOUN, by the way. Big pull right back down to VWAP.
What's going on, Nick? That's why we pay you the big bucks. What's going on?
Yo, I love that Nick is just popping in here, giving us news bits. I cannot be the only one. So
I like it. It's our
this is a great angle to add. Hopefully, Nick's available for this more often. Cleo,
I think Cleo likes Nick too, man.
Does he's singing out here? He's chirping and singing. He's having a grand old morning here.
I like swing trades, man. Hell yeah, Megan.
Jan, I think the volume is a little too big and the move is a little too big for it to just be quote unquote like a trap in the sense of a technical side. I would assume that it's, words that may have been said, but we shall see.
To me, it's just also like it could just be bounces. We've been seeing wicked bounces, like kind of dead cat bounce at the top here, and then just all of a sudden just comes right back down. It's not an easy way to short this market, I'll tell you that much. Looking to see if I can get a little bit of a push here. Canceling down my kind of stop just for the moment being, so I could be ready if it does go to profits here and just take the profits. We're almost through the 20 here. I'm looking for 2021 run on the SQQQs. If that could happen, I'll take the money and run. Qs are trying to bounce off a VWAP right now as I speak. I'm looking to see if we make a move to 362 here. That would give me the profits probably in the SQQQs. I'm battling myself if I should just take a little bit of a half gain today off the 20s here.
Crow likes the Nick update. Becca likes the Nick update. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're always about trying to add value here in any way that we can.
Exactly. Moo.
Pretty soon I'm going to be getting those grab shares too, Mitch, so the account's going to go up even more.
Time to get my neck pillow. Maybe that can get me in the green.
Oh, you're busting out the neck pillow for some good luck. Let's get it. What is happy hour and how do you get into that, Ryan, in 6.2 MI?
Gotta hold on, baby. Gotta hold on.
Okay. Kevin, so I will explain this. Kevin, the happy hour is a Zoom-based meeting that I run every day when the market closes, Monday through Thursday. It is exclusive to Benzinga Pro subscribers. So you have to have Benzinga Pro in order to get that link. It's one of the reasons why we use Benzinga Pro here, in addition to it being the best possible tool for everything that I'm trying to do, scanners, news, charts, etc. So if you're a Benzinga Pro member, there's a pop-up about 10 minutes before it starts in the bottom left-hand corner of your platform. What we do is we discuss what happened. We discuss what we traded, what we're looking at, maybe some trade ideas. We discuss strategy. We discuss what the Fed's doing. The discussions are wide-ranging, and they're generated by the participants. Sometimes I have some bullet points to talk about, but for the most part, I let the group dictate where they want to go. We often review the SPY chart. We've got a lot of awesome professionals from various walks of life in there. So it's a really, really great show for market discussion and idea generation.
Well, there's that trade that I talked about on NVIDIA from 431 to 428. It's at 428.30s, almost there, right back to the VWAP. So I'll show you guys that trade there. I'm keeping this trade on my eyes because Qs could bounce here. I'm looking to see if we can continue just driving and grinding. So look, you see the NVIDIA right back there towards the VWAP. Will it bounce at VWAP or will it give up there? AMD just got wiped out there, back below the support on the day. So we'll see if that can recover. It doesn't look good there. SQQQs right here fighting around in the 20s, but the Qs could bounce. So that's where I'm being a little bit careful. If they come all the way back, I'll just give up this trade. So I'm just trying to stay with it to see if it goes lower.
Moo neck roll. Oh, hell yes. Give me some likes for Mitch and his moo neck roll. Let's pump up the like game a little bit there.
To tell you the truth, like around this time, I'm already like starting to feel a little bit of like, the stress of the day. And so it's like a nice little like relaxer, just kick back, let the trade do the work. Moo should give this to everybody that has an account, man. Just wear a neck pillow and trade, baby.
Cole, nice to see you, Cole. What do you think of F? So this is an interesting question because my thought on Ford has not changed. First of all, full disclosure here, my daily driver car is a Ford. I have a Ford Fusion Sport, but that does not play in at all to what I think of the stock because the Ford, I think over the next 10 years, Ford is going to be your EV leader. Don't you agree, Cleo? Ford is going to be your EV leader because of the electric truck. They have such a huge fleet of trucks. Once you start rolling those out, they're going to be your EV leader by volume. Mm-hmm. How the stock is actually going to perform in that time is tough. The one thing that I will say that's going on right now, if you take a look at this daily chart, you have very, very strong support at 11, and you have a pretty decent channel here that ends at 1450. We're currently at 1412. So this channel has held up going back to the end of last year. And so for a potential trade here, you can do one of two things. You can trade the breakup or the breakdown, whichever happens, or you can channel trade in here. Now, right now, we're near the top of the channel on Ford. So I would say if you have gains from 11 here, maybe book some of those. If you're in this for the long term, if your plan is more long term, obviously you're going to have to make an adjustment on your own investment thesis there. But in terms of where the chart actually is, we're at the top end of a range here where I would close out a channel trade for gains. Long term, I like Ford, and I think that it should be higher when they do become the EV leader. Hope that answers your question.
All right, going to see if the Qs go back above 364.41, 363.41. That's where I'm looking at right now. Microsoft bouncing here off the VWAP also, very similar to the Qs. Apple a little bit stronger than Microsoft, so just keeping an eye on that one also. If Apple just goes higher, it'll probably drag the market. So let's see if we reject right back to 363 or above 363.50s. Yeah, the Qs are coming back. Battling right now, team. Battling.
By the way, I am going to take a little bit of a stab here. I went ahead and got some NVDA. So NVIDIA calls 430 expiring tomorrow. My average fill at the moment is 470. I'm looking to get one more contract at 450. I'm also in the equity side of things at 429.14 with a stop loss below 428. We're looking for this one to make a move back. And the reason for this is that it's testing VWAP. And you also had those big in the money buy purchases on the option side. So we shall see how this move kind of breaks out. We're risking about $2, about $100 or so on the option side to make 200 plus. It looks like I did just go ahead and get filled on the 250s or the 450s, excuse me. So I've got two contracts now on NVIDIA with an average price of still 460. Stop loss on those for me is going to be a crack of 4, by the way.
Real quick, Megan says you and Kramer, Ryan. So apparently I have the same opinion of as Kramer, and now I need to go take a shower. So thank you, Megan, for making me feel like I need to go shower. I didn't realize that, but in all honesty, that is my outlook on Ford. Full disclosure, I have no position. So despite having a bullish long-term outlook, I have not felt confident enough to deploy capital for that long-term idea, at least not yet. So kind of keep that in mind. One more thing here that I want to shout out from the group. This happened while we were off the show. One of the members here, Becca, who has a really awesome eye, spotted a pretty awesome chart that I ended up taking here. A little bit of this one is ANNX, and I'm going to run through the trading thesis here with you real quick. Here is ANNX. You can see on May 24th, we had a huge gap down. That created a huge gap here that we're now into. Now, the gap down was on failed phase 2 data, so keep that in mind. But it was immediately bought back up. It held that first leg up. Now it's actually broken above the top of that candle. We're into the gap here. It still has some pretty good strength. It's grinding. This gap fills here at 514-ish, right thereabouts. My current price is 367, so I'm actually 1 cent lower on this. If we zoom in a little bit more, if we go back to that 1 minute chart, you can see what we actually have here are two pretty strong days on this bounce. I actually bought it near the end of the day yesterday, so I'm a little bit lower on it. But today we sold off, immediately kind of traded back up, and it's holding here. So a pretty awesome spot here by one of our chat members, and I'm taking the trade here. So nice eye, Becca. I'll update you on if this actually closes as a profit. Right now, I'm down 1 cent on my position.
SQQQs look good here now. Qs rejected that move back above 363.40s, right back towards 363s, what I was essentially looking for. Now I'm going to look for them to wipe out towards 362s, and that would give me my profits in the SQQQ trade here towards the 2020 area or 2010 area. We'll see if we can get up there. Let's go. I'm looking at trying to take more trades. I was looking at like Success here and stuff like that, but it just doesn't seem to make sense. So I'm looking around. I see AMD going lower. NVIDIA's already at the VWAP level. Can't go after that now. It should have gone after that maybe at 431. Now it's just a chase. So I'm going to really look to see if Apple goes weak, because if Apple comes back to VWAP, that'll tell me a nice telling sign that, yeah, we are cracking. Microsoft is sitting off of the VWAP. Look to see if that goes lower. Google right back below VWAP now. Tesla, how's that one doing? Ooh, coming back fast to the VWAP. Big test here on the Qs here. 362.70s now. Will we crack through the 362 level? Looking for that nice little push here in, of course, the SQQQs up there towards 2001. Trying to get another win. Trying to get in the 600 game for the small account. This is my first kind of like big goal. And I'm trying to reach it, team. Trying to hit it. Gotta have goals, baby. Gotta have goals. All right, let's keep it going here. Can I get the money today? Let's go. Let's go. Q's tried to break there, went to 32.40s and bounced really quickly there off the 43s. So watch out for wicked move back up.
All right, on the NVIDIA trade, I'm going to go ahead and get stopped out here as we've got a couple of interviews coming up. It did go ahead and break below VWAP, so I'm going to go ahead and exit my trade just to hold on to the gains that we had on the prior to the day. The only position that I have open at the moment is my Rivian $15 calls expiring on July 21st. We got in at 104. They went as high as about 127, and we're still going to hold on to the couple of contracts that we have on that side of things.
Q's playing a little game here off of the VWAP, so just be careful because there's still a VWAP recovery available. We'll see what happens. It did take a hard downside move, but there was a quick wick. You know how I talk about those wicks. They could be tricks.
That's right. Interesting chart here, ROIV. This was on the list from this morning. You can see we really broke down out of the open here, but we reclaimed that 1033 level and the VWAP, and we've actually stayed above it. We did have one attempt to move towards the top end of the range. That was met with selling, but came back to the VWAP and bounced. So let's see if ROIV can actually make a move back towards this 1077 spot, and then maybe even the 1096 spot and break out from there. So ROIV looking pretty decent here. Interesting chart.
Q's don't want to let go, and we could always get a little bit of a pullback right back towards the top of the range and then a fail later in the day. So just be careful out there, team. I might just take my profit and run here in Mumu. Going to give it one shot here. I don't want it to go back all the way towards 363.30s really quickly on the Qs. So looking for a takedown through the 362.40 level, which would bring us maybe down towards 362 on the Qs. We'll see if it happens. That's the money move here for me on the SQQQ trade. Get a little closer here so I can show you guys that. Looking for that nice little move higher. Look to see if the Qs make that move or not. Around, you're starting to see the stock map now starting to go to red when it was green, right? Well, there you guys see it. Some stocks into the red. NVIDIA, Alphabet. NVIDIA was red and just almost got to green and never even, I don't think, got towards it. Amazon's still pushing well. If you're looking for a stock that's big and doing well, Amazon's one of those stocks. So that could actually hold the market up. So could Apple. Apple's holding the market up. Microsoft right now, Amazon. Those are the bullish stocks that I'd be keeping an eye out for a little bit of maybe a reversal back to the upside. All right, guys, I'm battling here, not seeing the move that I want to see in the Qs. I'm going to give it another second here, but if not, just going to take the profits and run.
Folks, banks dumping here. WAL dumping here, pounding the lows. That
really
is not going to be. Does anyone know what's going? Where's Nick? Does anyone know what's going on with?
Ooh, this is news related. I would definitely say Nick. Look into the banks.
Selling off.
Regional banks.
West
let us
pounding
know.
Lows.
That means KRE might be taking off here. So I'm going to try to get a KRE just getting hit really hard to the downside now at the 45 level. So maybe we look at FAZ. Is that lagging a little bit there? That's up to 2033s. So maybe a little bit of bank concerns coming in here. Going to look for a little bit of a pullback action to see if I can get into FAZ. But right now, it looks like it wants to go through highs. I just hate chasing highs. 2035 right now, right around that level. We'll see on FAZ. That's the bearish financial leverage vehicle for direction.
And by the way, SOUN new highs. So remember, it pulled back, stopped me out at 405 on the trailing piece that I had, came all the way back to VWAP, plunged and broke it by a couple of cents, but immediately recovered and now has gone to set new highs. SOUN might not be done today. At minimum, keep this on your radar for potential trades. ROIV going here. ROIV.
right.
Go ahead, Zunaid.
You're good. Nick, do you have a comment here before we head off?
All right, let's see if Nick has. Nick, do you got anything on regional banks? Anything?
We're putting him on the spot, so he might not have anything yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm just waiting.
He's ready. What's up, Nick? What are you seeing out there?
I'll say the one headline that did cross was he did say that the Fed may raise capital requirements for big banks by 20%. I don't know if that could be the move, but that could be.
That could be right there. Something like that could be something definitely happening. Of course, Nick is getting this in real time for us, so appreciate you like always, my friend.
Really appreciate
we'll definitely
it,
have
Nick.
you back next tomorrow. Stay tuned for more of Nick Brown here. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, we're going to wrap up the live trading action. Of course, I'm still in trades in the Moo trade. We'll see what happens and what goes on in the markets. Qs are starting to push really quickly back up here, so just be careful all around in the market today. That's going to do it for us here on the live trading. You can see the energy in the market. You can see the energy in us. Now to kick it to my man Zunaid as he goes into the All Access game. Have a good one, guys.
I appreciate you, man. And yeah, so I mean, we talked about the NBA draft earlier today, so we had to bring on the CEO of Mojo. We had a chance to talk to him at the sports betting conference at the Titans that we had early on. So Vin, let me just get a thumbs up whenever you're ready, pal. We'll go ahead and get you on. Got the thumbs up. We are good to go. What is going on?
How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Great to talk to you again. That is Vin, founder and CEO of Mojo. But I know what Mojo is. I downloaded the app. For the folks at home that don't know, what is Mojo?
Yeah, Mojo is a sports betting stock market. It's available in New Jersey only, but we're going to be debuting it in a gamified version in about 60% of the population in a few weeks. But basically, the vision is for the everyday sports fan like myself and who likes stocks. And I just saw the segment that you were doing a second ago, live trading on stocks. We think it's a pretty revolutionary thing if you could trade sports like stocks, much more intuitive. We can get into exactly how it works. So that's the vision, basically bet on sports like stocks.
What the question I had, right, when I was checking out the app, obviously with the draft going on today, we'll dive into that. You had Victor, who's projected to be #1 overall pick. You've got his IPO. So it's kind of like, hey, you can own that stock, if you will, of that individual, his performances and things like that. I'm concerned in terms of like liquidity, because I assume if I want to sell, right, his career, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere. If I want to sell it, do I have to have like a buyer, like another user on the other side? How does that liquidity work?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And so the very premise of the entire app foundation of the market is that there's always liquidity for the user. You can't really have an efficient market if, to your point, you're a user and you want to buy, or you've bought and you want to sell. You need to be able to do that on a second-by-second basis in the same way you guys were just doing in the last segment. So the very foundation of kind of what we sought to create is for us at the outset to create that liquidity. So we had to build an entire market-making infrastructure of quants and stats, statisticians and all these algo makers, market makers, so that, for example, on Wembayama, yes, the price is, I think it's $2.99, but there's also a sell price. And because the price is so high, actually, the early action we're seeing is mostly folks shorting them because they might think,
so you can short on your app as well.
Oh, yeah, you can buy. Exactly. Looks just like a market. You can go long, you can go short. And we have all these different kinds of markets. You're pointing out, of course, this futures market on the careers of athletes. That's something that probably doesn't exist elsewhere, but we also have markets on the games and on players and on, micro markets. So it's a, full-fledged stock market.
Well, so in terms of live betting, right? What kind of things can I get from your company and Mojo in terms of live betting?
Yeah. So right now it's because a lot of the sports event, NFL and NBA. So the core sport right now is baseball. And on baseball tonight, you will have the money lines. You'll have all these player props. We're soon going to be adding just more traditional lines like the totals and the spreads. But the key, again, going back to what we were just talking about, is this liquidity. So anything that you buy, whether it's the Yankees tonight, at 40%, or they're probably the favorite at 55%, as soon as you buy it, you can immediately turn around and sell it at a very, very small spread. That's the key to the whole thing. And what's so interesting in my view as a sports fan is because sports itself is so volatile, the game itself is volatile.
Yeah.
You will see those prices, those probabilities move in real time. So they'll be popping around from 20% to 10% to 80%, especially as you get late in the game. So the opportunity to live trade and make 8x in a matter of seconds using your sports knowledge is right in front of you.
So I don't have to wait for the game to be over to kind of get a result. Like, for example, if I see something happen and it increases the value, like, for example, the bases are loaded, chances are in my favor based on the over that I may have taken. I don't have to wait for a run to score. I can just go ahead and sell it based on whatever the market price is.
Exactly. That's the key. The key to any market is liquidity. You can't be waiting for somebody else to, that whole thing is, makes it super inefficient. So that's what we guarantee the user. And the key, I think, is when we talk about liquidity, it isn't just that there is a price. The key is that there's size available, so that if you can only bet $5 on something, we don't really think that's true liquidity. The second thing is you can't have the spread be so wide where it's not really favorable to you as well. So our North Star is extreme liquidity, which means there's always a price to both buy and sell. There's size available for you to do that, and the spreads are very, very tight. And we want to get better and better and better at that at all times.
I'm glad you mentioned the spread because, here, whenever we trade stocks, there's some companies where the ticker is just such a wide spread that it's like, hey, for the small guy, for the little guy like me, as soon as I get into a position, I'm already down $25. I'm already down $50. And the stock hasn't moved, but it's a spread that's caused me to kind of be in the negative. So I love this spread aspect of it. And the fact that it's not just, hey, small monies that you can go ahead and bet. It's the bigger ones as well. I know you've got about 10 NBA players, including Victor, that you went ahead and IPO'd. That's what you've done in terms of innovation with the cards. But what else is coming down the pipeline for your company?
Yeah. So what we found is, we just launched at the end of September last year for the NFL season, just in the state of New Jersey. Sports betting is a highly regulated industry. And so we wanted to sort of have this pilot audience in New Jersey to test the product out. And what we found over the last 90 days is this live trading and this kind of stickiness to the app where you're watching the game and at the same time checking your app, and day trading just exactly the way you guys were.
Yeah.
We found that to come to fruition. So for us, now that we've got that product market fit, we got people spending 70 minutes in the app. They're trading, 15, 20 times a month, over $1,000 of handle per user.
Wow.
The key for us is just expansion now. What I mean by that is not only do we have to add a bunch of selection. So as I mentioned, we're going to be adding many more baseball bets, but we got to add all the other sports. And then most importantly is to basically bring our product to more of the population in the country. So 60%, so that's our goal in the next few weeks, is to take the exact same sportsbook product we have in New Jersey and make it available to, as I said, about 60% of the population in a few weeks. And we're going to have to do that in a gamified way because we don't yet have sportsbook licenses in many of the states, which haven't really come online. For example, California, Texas, Florida, it's not yet legal to sports bet. So we're creating a gamified version of that where you can basically, again, use your sports knowledge. You're still playing the book, but instead of us as the house, you're playing against other people. And so that's what we're working at now. And it'll be same thing. You can live trade, put, deposit money in. And if you're right, you think you can pick in the same way you guys were in the last segment, in this example, it will be players, you'll make money.
And so it's a matter of, so it sounds like, and tell me if I'm wrong here, please, I'm trying to grasp the concept. It's where you can have players that you believe are going to perform at an X level that you put into a portfolio, which then becomes a parlay. And then you have to go ahead and be at a certain tier, a percentile to go ahead and cash out on. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, well, we'll have various versions, but your basic premise is right. You open up an account. If you want to play tonight, you'll have to pick, I think, 4 players, and you pick 4 players. That's your portfolio. And then you can just trade them however you want. You can hold them, you can trade in and out of the game because you like what the prices are doing. And then at the end, you'll have whatever the value of your portfolio is in the same way you would have in your stock market, in the same way you'd be able to check your account at the end of a night's trading at DraftKings. Yeah. That's going to be your score. And then you'll be measured against the other folks that are in your pool. And, we'll have various versions in terms of how you win. One will be, hey, if you're just positive for the night, which a lot of times as sports bettors, you just want to be up, you'll win. And then you'll share in the profits with whoever else has won. We'll have other ones where it'll be higher tiers. Right. And so you can kind of pick and choose, but the foundation's the same. You're basically picking these player props, deciding whether you want to live trade them, and your portfolio value, which is just kind of like at the end of the night, how you did, will tell you how much, whether you won and how much you won. And we got to make it super simple. So that's what we're working on now.
Something that I noticed when apps try to do similar things, not exactly what you're doing, which is what I love, but one thing I don't like, and I'll just be very upfront about it, is that their odds aren't as great, right? So I know Vegas, for example, if you do a 2-team parlay, you get the odds of you get $2.60 for every dollar that you put down. But in those apps, you get $2 back for every dollar. So you're losing 60 cents, even though you're already at a disadvantage. How are your odds? Is it the same as kind of like what Vegas offers, or is it a little different in terms of sportsbooks aspect of it, of the portfolio that you were talking about that's
Oh,
coming
it
out?
could be exactly the same. So our product in New Jersey is our sports book. And our
Right.
goal, as I mentioned earlier, is to have the best odds, the tightest spreads, always a price, which means, and this is a North Star. We have to keep getting better
Yeah.
and better, our whole in-house team. Those exact odds, hopefully in the long run or even intermediate run, will be the best in the market. And when you're playing the gamified version, you're just playing the same odds. Like you're picking
Yeah.
you're basically picking the exact same things that you would do if you're in Jersey, except if you're in a different state like Texas or something, you are now not competing against Mojo as the house. You're
Yeah.
competing in a challenge with a few other folks. And so there isn't really any difference. The big foundational difference is we're not the house. You're not competing against the house. You're competing against others.
What's really interesting is that we just had Marcus Smart. That is, I don't think the trade has been finalized, but you just kind of saw him be in the trades to go and get traded. And it's interesting because I'm looking at the chart of Marcus Smart here,
Yeah.
right on your app. I don't know if the camera's going to get it really well, but you can see how as that news breaks, you kind of see movement. This is just past 24 hours here. So
Yeah.
as rumors go about it, you're getting movement in terms of like, hey, is it going to be great for him? I would assume that, Porzingis's value has gone up because now he's on a winning team and different things like that.
Right.
So if I understand correctly, it's not just trying to get a bet in during the games. It's also just like when trades happen, when retirements happen. Like
Exactly.
Tom Brady, which I don't know if he's on the platform anymore. Once he's retired, he's kind of done with, you know what I mean? Where
Exactly.
the quarterback for the 49ers, I'm forgetting, Brock, I
Brock
believe.
Purdy.
Thank you. He's got such great, value upside available that you can invest in him in the offseason. So this is kind of like
Exactly.
an all around time.
Oh, yeah. We have different markets. And so, like I said, I was talking about the daily markets, but the one that we launched with is what you're talking about, which is a futures market on the career of all these players. That doesn't exist anywhere else. That is, I think that's kind of what we did 20 years ago. Myself, Mark Laurie, my co-founder. And that idea is sort of to your point. Brock Purdy, as an example, last year, he was the last pick of the draft. No one thought anything. Folks that got in early got him at, I believe it was less than $1. And then, within a few weeks, they were making 7-8x as he just continued to play. And then I think when he got hurt in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles, immediately his price went down. I have to check it, but I'm pretty sure he's come back up because
He sure has.
the concept is he should be the starter against Trey Lance. So that's what that is. That's a pretty cool market in my view, because that doesn't exist anywhere else where you can take a position in the career. And that's what we're doing tonight with the NBA draft, Wembayama, but there's also 9 other guys we're debuting, and we hope to have all the guys on the market.
It's interesting because we're talking about Brock Purdy, just to kind of put some numbers on it. So he started off at $158, then he went high, then he dropped, like you said, with the injury to 650, and now he's at all-time highs, which is crazy to say in terms of sports betting because that's not a term you usually hear. But we've got a couple more minutes. So let me ask you this. In general, in the sports betting world, obviously legalization is kind of what gets in the way of folks expanding, right? Do you see any challenges besides that? Or if you want to talk about the opportunities that you see on the horizon, I'd love to hear your insights on the industry as a whole, because obviously you're an expert at it.
Yeah, no, I think that is the fundamental challenge for all operators. I think especially early ones is the regulation, which is a good thing for the customer, but it's unusual in the United States because it's a state by state approach. So it's not only regulated, but then they make it on a state by state basis. So you have to get approval from every single state. That makes it super complicated, not just from a sort of regulatory perspective, like the cost that you have to have in-house to do it, but from a marketing perspective, because if you're going to try to do any kind of national marketing, which is always going to be the most efficient, especially when you're working with content folks, you're going to be overpaying because a lot of their audience isn't going to be able to use the product. So I think that's just the reality. And that is why we're introducing this gamified version to sort of figure out a way to get it more efficient. But otherwise, I think what you're seeing is a lot of folks are trying to innovate. In my view, it's still very, very early innings. It was, the laws just changed 5 years ago. This is like super, super early. It's extraordinarily fast growing. I was in the e-commerce world back in the 2000s and 1990s. This industry is growing faster than anything I've ever seen, including the e-commerce industry. And it started out, I think, just trying to take the offline, what you would see in Vegas in terms of the lines and just jamming it into the phone. I think this next iteration is where you see all the innovation, all the sort of interesting kind of things, because that's the only way I think you're going to win. That's what we're trying to do with our Robinhood kind of market interface. Other folks will do other things. And so that'll be really interesting to see, like, who can innovate, who can simplify fastest and in the best way for the customer.
We live in a world where there's instant gratification. I think the reason I bring that up to wrap things up is because you talked about how an average user, and please tell me if I misheard, spends about 70 minutes on your app. That tells me that they're not just placing a bet and hopping out. No, they're staring at their screen at home with the TV, and they've got your app open to see how they want to take advantage of any injuries or, you know, a 3 that just may have changed the odds and this, that, and the other. So I think that's the coolest thing, is those micro transactions, those micro bets as you're betting live. You're getting a hot dog, you're at the game, you want to bet this and win it by third quarter. So really excited to see what you guys do in that field, but definitely have signed myself up for the contest that you've got coming up in a couple of
challenge.
weeks. Thank you
I
so
think
much for your time.
You're going to do well seeing you in the last segment.
Hey, I appreciate it. I hope so. If
All right.
not, I'm going to delete the app and hope I get my money back. Yeah.
Right. Take care.
Hey, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. That is Vin, who is the CEO and founder of Mojo. Thank you, pal.
Appreciate it.
All right. And that's going to go ahead and do it for us here at Live Trading. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that interview. And of course, go ahead and check out the NBA draft. It's always exciting times for folks who put in such hard work to have their dreams achieved. But we appreciate you for watching Live Trading, and we will see you tomorrow. Y'all have